Hi, ladies. This installment of the PD will discuss reading engagement. We are starting off with this even before we get into the nuts and bolts of the reading workshop structure, because without reading engagement, without a love of books, without a community of readers, the workshop model will not have as much impact as what it otherwise could. So I'm going to start off with this quote from Barbara Marinac and Linda Grant Gambrell. They wrote No More Reading for Junk, a great quick little read if you're interested. They said there is nothing more relevant and motivating than to honor the significant book in a child's life. We're going to start this off by thinking about the significant book in our lives, and I'm going to lead the way with the two books that you see on the screen here. First, Tuesdays with Morrie. This book was impactful on my life. I read it when I was about 20 years old when my grandma died. My childhood was a bit challenging. I had a father who was a drug addict and was not a part of our life, and then a mother who had a lot of emotional challenges in life, struggled with depression and things of that nature. And then my grandma actually lived with us. So I grew up with my mom, my grandma, my three siblings at the time. And my grandma died when I was about 20, and that was very difficult for me to process. It was the first significant death for me, as far as someone close to me, and I really didn't have a lot of people around me to help me process that death. And this book helped a ton with that, because if you haven't read this book, it's about I believe it was a teacher. It's been a long time since I read it. A teacher and um, a student, and the student realized that his college professor, I believe that it was going to pass away, and it talks about that process and the learnings that he had from it. So, huge impact on my life. And then the book on the right side, Undone, was a book I read about 3 years ago. It's a nonfiction book written by Michelle Cachat, and she wrote about her battle with cancer. She was diagnosed with cancer multiple times, and her father actually was diagnosed and passed away from cancer. And the book is about making peace with an unexpected life. And as all of us probably know, life sends us curveballs, and sometimes it's hard to navigate those curveballs. And this talks about how to have peace with how things turn out in life. So super impactful on me. So I would love for you to think about what books have made an impact in your life, and remember that as we work with kids, and highlighting the importance of not just the standards and the skills that we're having our kids learn, but the power of books, because this goes way beyond what our kids accomplish in our room this year. The goal is to create lifelong readers. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick little video from Scholastic. The purpose of showing you the video again is to kind of get that warm and fuzzy feeling about reading engagement, and get to the heart of why it's important. And also because I hope to use numerous videos in these installments of the PD to show you the impact of videos on learning, not only for you, but hopefully we can implement some video clips into your classrooms. One, to hit those media standards, but also because they really reach people. So here we go. Open a world of possibilities. So I love that last line where it said, I'm growing into something new, because I believe that's what books do for us and do for our kids. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share a document with you guys that looks like this, and I will put our flipped PD documents inside of this, so it's all housed on one Google Doc. So the first one is, of course, reading engagement that we're doing right now. And if you click on reading engagement ideas, it will come to this document. And I love these two quotes by Nancy Atwell and Jennifer Saravallo on reading engagement. And though I know you can read, I'm still going to read it out loud to you just because they're awesome quotes. So first one, a child sitting in a quiet room with a good book isn't a flashy or marketable teaching method. It just happens to be the only way anyone becomes a better reader. So I love that, because I think that there's a lot that comes along in education that's flashy and new, and we all tend to want to be a part of it, but I don't think there's little more important than the book in the hands of our children. And the more that we can do that, the more successful they're going to be. And then the Jennifer Saravallo quote, without engagement, you've got nothing. That's pretty blunt to the point, but it actually is true. Without kids engaged in books, then their success is going to be limited. So let's get our kids excited about reading. So this is a document that I do want to be collaborative. I have started it, but I do not know all the wonderful ideas out there, and you guys were chosen as model teachers for a reason. One is that you guys have amazing ideas as well. So please add to this. Either now or in the future. At any point, you'll have access to add to this as contributors, to share ideas of how to get our kids excited about reading. And these are things that you can do, obviously, throughout the whole entire year. But doing this in the first few weeks of school is super important as you launch your workshop model and getting them excited about books. So you can look through these. I'm going to highlight a few book trailers. Some of you guys already know about these. I shared these two links right here earlier in the year. Book trailers are simply like movie trailers. There are 3, sometimes 2 to 5 minute videos that share books with kids in a very engaging manner. So I remember when I taught 3rd grade, we would just sit and watch these videos, probably for too long. Sometimes we watched them for 45 minutes to an hour at a time. And we had our books I plan to read document in front of us, and they added to that document as they found book trailers that had books that they were excited about. Teacher display book. This is a book that you simply display on your desk or at another appropriate place that shows kids what book you are reading right now. It could be an adult book, of course, as long as it's appropriate for school, or it could be a book that's on their level that you're reading just because you love to read their books as well. This is important because it sends a message that you are a reader too, and you're wanting to share the books that you're reading, just like you want them to share the books that they are reading. Picture book of the month. I love this one because it's so easy and so impactful. This is something, honestly, that can be done kindergarten through 12th grade, just once a month. You choose, or have your kids choose. That might be even better, or maybe a combination of both, I guess, would be good. A picture book that has amazing word choice or detailed illustrations or a powerful message, whatever the reason is, and then encourage everybody in your class to read that book during independent reading time. And then free write about books. I got this from a Stephen Lane book about getting kids excited about reading. He talked about the importance of just letting your kids write about the books that they're reading without a writing prompt. There's a time for reading response where you want them to respond to specific questions that you give them, but sometimes just let them write. Let them respond in a way that is not dictated about you, so they can share their feelings and their thoughts and their emotions that have to do with their book. And that is not only going to help with reading engagement, that is going to help with their writing as well. And then another idea I got from Stephen Lane's book was target students to help. He talked about just targeting 1 or 2 students at a time that you know has reading engagement issues. Give them some strategies from Jennifer Saravallo's Reading Strategies book from the engagement section. Talk with the librarian. Show them yournextread.com or other similar sites that helps them find books that they love. Really work on sending the message to those kids that you care about their reading life and that you want to help them find a book that's going to matter to them. Okay, so as I said, feel free to add to this anytime that you want. I am excited to see your guys' ideas. And that is it, guys, for this installment. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet as much as I can. I do want to reinforce again, reading engagement is huge. It is really, I think, what matters in creating lifelong readers. So thanks for your work on this throughout the year.